Hi people, Night Voice here again. I see the carbon tax has passed through the upper house, it's going to be made into law, and all of us are going to have to pay for it. Doesn't matter where you are. I see our Prime Minister at the G20 has promised to support the IMF, the money they're trying to raise to bail out Europe. And I've mentioned before in a previous video, there's not enough money on this planet to bail out Europe or America. And I see our Treasurer was a piece in the paper today or yesterday talking about we'll have to cut government expenditure if we want to stay within or get our surplus back by 2013, I think. Do you think this may have something to do with this money that we're going to be paying the IMF? That our Prime Minister has more or less promised. I think the figure was double what we give them now. You know, what is happening in other countries is, I've mentioned, it's starting to happen here. More and more taxes, government cutting back expenditure. You know, like I mentioned, the carbon tax, the mining super tax is coming into play as well. They're talking about taxing the gold mines and or the gold miners. So everybody. We've got the Treasurer talking about cutting back on expenditure. We have someone in the government, I'm not quite sure who it was, suggesting that the super surcharge go from 9% to 12%, which effectively is another 3% tax on every business that employs people in Australia. %10% of our of this carbon tax that is collected is already going to the IMF or the World Bank, which was an agreement that the government made a couple of years ago. So you can see where all this is leading to. You know, like I said, carbon tax, money, more money for the IMF, Swan talking about cutting government expenditure, and I can imagine that'll be education and our health services. You can guarantee it. The super surcharge increasing, super mining tax, all these new taxes. You watch now the unemployment rate here in Australia will absolutely skyrocket. People, business people in Australia are just going to, a lot of them will turn around and just say, well, you know, this is heaps of people have left the country and do business, have companies overseas because of all these taxes. You know, I mentioned in a video a few months ago that the tax rate here in Australia should be 10%, bang, for everything, right across the board. The song playing in the background there is called Austerity. It's a song that I wrote and recorded. It's up on YouTube. Just look for Austerity. And it's about taxes. We're being screwed. Austerity is taxes, government slashing their spending, laying off workers, so that's more unemployment. You only have to look what's happening in Europe, especially in Greece, where they have austerity measures in place. I've mentioned all this in videos previously, and it's happening here. Within the last 1 or 2 months, carbon tax, money of the IMF, Swan's coming out talking about cutting government expenditure, super surcharge, another 3% on businesses, mining super tax, never ending story. So like I said, you watch the unemployment rate go up, businesses will just say, bang, pat a guts full. I mean, if you think about it, a company that employs 1,000 people, they're going to pay an extra 3% supercharge. So the average person's earning $1,000 a week. That's basically $30 for each person. If they employ 1,000 people, that's an extra $30,000 per week that that company has to find. $120,000 a month extra. You know? In an environment the way it is now, with the downturn in the economy and everything, it's absolutely bloody ridiculous. It's just I don't know where these people come up with these ideas, you know. I've mentioned that everybody's going to lose their super anyway, so just screw. All these people, all these politicians, or not all of them, but you know, the majority of them, you could probably say, the ones that vote for these things, are caught up in the circle. They're conned into believing that this is the thing to do. You know, especially this carbon tax, the money for the IMF, bail out Europe. Everything's going to fall apart. That's my feelings. Night Voice. Check austerity out. Just listen to it. Night Voice. Catch you later.